The House will come to order. Good morning. This morning, the morning pledge will be led by Representative Mark Baisley from House District 39 in Littleton, Colorado.
Americans, patriots, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Gregorio, please call the roll.
Representatives Arndt, Baisley, Benavides, Bird, Bockenfeld, Buck, Buckner,
Present.
Quinteo, Caraveo,
Oh, good. I kind of feel like
Carver, Catlin, Champion, Coleman, Cutter, Duran, Escar,
Good morning.
Exum, Froelich,
Here.
Garnett, Geithner, Gonzalez Gutierrez, Gray, Herod, Holtorf, Hooten,
Here.
Humphrey, Jackson,
Here.
Hawkes Lewis,
Presente.
Kennedy, Kip, Representative Kip, Kraft Tharp,
Yes.
Landgraf, Representative Landgraf, Larson, Liston, Rep. Liston, Montine, McCluskey, McKean, McLaughlin,
Good morning.
Melton,
What's up?
Michelson Janae, Mullica, Neville, Pelton, Ransom, Rich,
Here.
Roberts, Sane, Sandridge, Singer, Sirota,
Here.
Snyder, Soper, Sullivan, Tipper, Tatone,
Me and the bunch are here.
Valdez A, Valdez D, Van Winkle, Weissman, Will, Williams, Wilson,
Good morning.
Woodrow, Young, Madam Speaker.
here. With 64 present and 1 excused, we have a quorum. Announcements and introductions. Representative Byrd. Oh, do we have someone reading the yes, the two of you are going to do the Daily Journal, okay?
Oh, we have to show them. Yeah, sorry. Okay. Ready? Madam Speaker, we move that the Journal of Monday, November 30th, 2020 be approved as corrected by the Chief Clerk.
Oh, that was fantastic. You all have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
No. No.
Thank you, Representative Melton. I missed that. The motion passes. Now announcements and introductions. Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And members, just a quick reminder that your first 3 bill requests for the 2021 session must be filed no later than midnight tonight. with the Office of Legislative Legal Services. You may submit your bill request to OLLS by phone or in person, room 91, during normal business hours, or by email. And just remember to get those in.
All right, then that brings us to third reading of bills, final passage. Mr. Gregorio, please read the title of House Bill 1003.
House Bill 20B 1003 by Representatives Cutter and Bockenfold, also Senators Story and Heisey, concerning changes to the Food Pantry Assistance Grant Program and in connection therewith making an appropriation.
Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1003 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1003 on third reading and final passage. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, please open the machine and members, please vote. Representative Wilson, how do you vote?
Yes.
Wilson votes yes. Melton?
Yes.
Melton votes yes. Froelich?
Yes.
Froelich votes yes. Esgar?
Yes.
Esgar votes yes. Jaquez Lewis?
Yes.
What was that?
Yes.
Yes. Representative Rich?
Yes.
Rich votes yes. Buckner?
Yes.
Buckner votes yes. Hooton?
Yes.
Hooton votes yes. Sirota?
Yes.
Sirota votes yes. Jackson?
Yes.
Jackson votes yes. Kraftart?
Yes.
Kraftart votes yes. Titone?
Yes.
Titone votes yes. McLaughlin?
Yes.
McLaughlin votes yes. Gray? Gray votes yes. Please close the machine. With 63 ayes, 1 no, and 1 excused, House Bill 20B 1003 is passed. Co-sponsors. Sirota co-sponsors, Kraftart co-sponsors, Melton co-sponsors, Wilson, Froelich, Jaquez Lewis, Hooton, Buckner, Titone, McLaughlin, Jackson, Melton, Esgar. Oh, Representative Gray, co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Please read the title of House Bill 20B 1004.
No, it's relaxed.
House Bill 20B 1004 by Representatives Valdez A. and Van Winkle, also Senators Bridges and Tate, concerning a temporary deduction from state next taxable sales for certain retailers in the state in order to allow such retailers to retain the resulting sales tax collected as assistance for lost revenue as a result of the economic disruption due to the presence of coronavirus disease 2019 in Colorado.
Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1004 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 20B 1004 on third reading and final passage. Representative Bockenfeld.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It's an honor to serve with you.
It's an honor to serve with you, Representative.
As you know, we've had much debate on this bill yesterday. Some of us are wanting to increase the amount of this deduction or savings on for the businesses of the sales tax. And I did speak to the two sponsors on the bill. I was prepared to do a third reading amendment on the bill to try to get back to the doubling the credit and that type of thing. Both the sponsors are open-minded, but if the money's there is the question, is the dollars. So in lieu of doing the third amendment, the third amendment on this bill, what we decided to do was, having some discussion with the Senate, is to stay open-minded, to see if we can find the money to increase that amount, and instead of slowing down the process here, because if we did it, we'd have to go back to appropriations, we're going to send it to the Senate, and I just ask that you call your senators and ask them to work hard to try to find some additional money on their side to increase this deduction or sales tax so they can keep the sales tax. And so on that, I would ask you to please vote and support this amendment as is. Let's send it to Senate, and hopefully we can get them to polish it up a little bit, find some dollars, and let's help these small businesses. Thank you very much.
Representative Holtorf.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, colleagues. Thank you, God, for this day that you give us. The problem I have with this bill is we continue to pick winners and losers. We continue to pick winners and losers in our state as we offer certain governmental benefits for certain retailers, but other retailers who also may be struggling are left out. That is a difficult thing. For those retail businesses that do not fall under this bill, I apologize. I apologize to you as you struggle in light of COVID-19. It is unfortunate that we in this body, in this Gold Dome, cannot see fit to offer more to help all in this pandemic. As we sit here and try to whittle down our relief instead of expand it. So I will tell you, although I do support the underlying premise of this legislation, I will not join in this body picking winners and losers.
Representative Van Winkle.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I also do not want to be picking winners and losers, but we did try to make this bill as inclusive as possible, try to make it apply to as many businesses hurt by COVID and the government shutdown as possible. It applies to bars, restaurants, tasting rooms, those breweries that you go up, that you buy from the counter. We made it as expansive as possible. Now, as far as Kohl's and Macy's, I'm not sure about those, but I do know our Colorado restaurants are truly at a breaking point. And this bill, as it's written right now, applies at least most of restaurants, bars, breweries, those businesses just struck so hard by COVID. This bill will allow them to save 100% of their state income or state sales taxes. Now, for the bigger ones and those with more than 5 locations, it won't help them quite as much. It'll help them on that first $70,000 in net taxable sales. But right now, with the cash that we do have as the state of Colorado, it helps those most in need, which in my view right now is the restaurants of Colorado who need 2 things. They need cash and they need increased capacity. And what this bill helps with is the cash. It gives them, allows them to hold on to the money that they otherwise would be paying to the state of Colorado, allows them to buy those heaters, expand their outdoor seating for winter, and pay for many other things like new employees, keeping employees, staying open during these harsh winter months where typically they shut down their patios and move everyone inside. So I think it's a good bill. Of course, it could be even better, and I hope that it will be in the Senate, but for right now, it is what we can do, and it will make a big difference to an awful lot of restaurant owners, employees, and hard workers in Colorado for the months ahead. So I urge a yes vote.
Representative Larson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It's an honor to serve with you.
It's an honor to serve with you.
Thanks. And members, I rise in strong support of this bill. I want to echo what we heard from Assistant Minority Leader Van Winkle and Representative Valdez. Of all of the bills that we're going to consider before us in this special session, this is hands down the one that will have the biggest impact for actually saving small businesses. You're talking about $8,000 for a lot of businesses, those that can get about $70,000 in revenue. We heard, and they absolutely are correct, that many restaurants are diminished to the point where they're not getting that $70,000, but that's about your average mom and pop. You know, when you drive by your restaurant on the corner, in good times, they're pulling in about $70,000 to $100,000 a month. So this is hitting that sweet spot. These are the people that are going to go out of business. Unfortunately, we're not doing enough, and we're still going to see thousands of businesses fail. But this bill, in its current form, and if we can expand it, great, but in its current form, will do more to stop business failures than anything else we're going to do in this chamber. This is the best bill we've seen this session. Please, to my colleagues on this side, on my side of the aisle, do not let the good be the enemy, or the perfect be the enemy of the good. Please vote in support of this bill. This will save lives, save livelihoods, and save jobs. So please vote yes.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the question before us is the passage of House Bill 20B 1004. Mr. Gregorio, please open the machine, and members, please vote. Representative McLaughlin, how do you vote?
Yes.
McLaughlin votes yes. Tatone.
Yes.
Tatone votes yes. Jackson.
Yes.
Jackson votes yes. Hooton.
Yes.
Hooton votes yes. Sirota.
Yes.
Sirota votes yes. Buckner.
Yes.
Buckner votes yes. Rich.
Yes.
Rich votes yes. Wilson.
Yes.
Wilson votes yes. Melton.
Yes.
Melton votes yes. Landgraf. Okay. Landgraf.
Yes.
Landgraf votes yes. Froelich.
Yes.
Froelich votes yes. Esgar.
Yes.
Esgar votes yes. Kraft-Tharp.
Definitely yes.
Definitely yes. Kraft-Tharp. Hawkes Lewis.
Yes.
Yes. Hawkes Lewis. Gray. Gray votes yes. Wow. Please close the machine. With 64 aye votes, 1 no vote, House Bill 1004 is adopted. Co-sponsors. Let's see. Hawkes Lewis co-sponsors. Kraft-Tharp co-sponsors. Esgar. Landgraf. Froelich. Melton. Wilson. Jackson. Hooton. Sirota. McLaughlin. Tatone. Buckner. Please close the machine. Please read the title of House Bill 20B 1002.
House Bill 20B 1002 by Representatives Kipp and Landgraf, also Senators Pedersen and Sonnenberg, concerning the creation of COVID-19 emergency relief grant programs for the child care sector in connection therewith, making an appropriation.
Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1002 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1002 on third reading and final passage. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, please open the machine, and members, please vote. Representative Kraft-Tharp, how do you vote?
Yes.
Kraft-Tharp, yes. Hawkes Lewis.
Yes.
Hawkes Lewis, yes. Wilson. Wilson?
Yes.
Wilson is yes. Melton?
Yes.
Melton, yes. Landgraf?
I think yes.
Landgraf, yes. Froelich?
Yes.
Froelich, yes. Esgar?
Yes.
Esgar, yes. Rich?
Yes.
Rich, yes. Buckner?
Yes.
Buckner, yes. Sirota?
Yes.
Sirota, yes. Hooton?
Yes.
Hooton, yes. Jackson?
Yes.
Jackson, yes. McLaughlin?
Yes.
McLaughlin, yes. Tatone?
Yes.
Tatone, yes. Gray? Gray, yes. Bockenfeld, Geithner. Please close the machine. With 54 aye votes, 11 no votes, House Bill 1002 is adopted. Co-sponsors. Tatone, McLaughlin, Jackson, Hooton, Sirota, Buckner, Rich, Esgar, Froelich, Kraft-Tharp, Melton, Jaquez Lewis, Gray, please close the machine. Mr. Gregorio, please read the title of House Bill 20B 1006.
House Bill 20B 1006 by Representative Arndt, also Senator Zenzinger, concerning modifications to the insurance premium tax and in connection therewith modifying how credits against premium tax payments may be claimed or transferred, adjusting how estimated quarterly taxes are calculated, and allowing the company to claim a refund for overpayments of estimated premium tax liability.
Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1006 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1006 on third reading and final passage. Any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Gregorio, please open the machine and members, please vote. Representative McLaughlin, how do you vote?
Yes.
McLaughlin votes yes. Tatone.
Yes.
Tatone votes yes. Rich.
Yes.
Rich votes yes. Buckner.
Yes.
Buckner votes yes. Sirota.
Yes.
Sirota votes yes. Hooton.
Yes.
Hooton votes yes. Jackson.
Yes.
Jackson votes yes. Wilson.
Yes.
Wilson votes yes. Melton.
Yes.
Melton votes yes. Landgraf.
Yes.
Landgraf votes yes. Froelich.
Yes.
Froelich votes yes. Esgar.
Yes.
Esgar votes yes. Jaquez Lewis.
Yes.
Jaquez Lewis votes yes. Kraftharp.
Yes.
Kraftharp votes yes. Gray. Gray votes yes. Please close the machine. With 64 aye votes, 1 no vote, House Bill 1006 is adopted. Co-sponsors. Representative Jaquez Lewis, co-sponsors. Melton, co-sponsors. Kraft-Tharp, co-sponsors. Froelich. Esgar. Buckner. Hooton. Jackson. McLaughlin. Tatone. Please close the machine. Please read the title of House Bill 1001.
House Bill 20B 1001 by Representatives Young and Soper, also Senators Donovan and Quorum, concerning support for expanding broadband access for preschool through 12th grade education in connection therewith, creating the Connecting Colorado Students Grant Program and making an appropriation.
Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1001 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1001 on third reading and final passage. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Gregorio, please open the machine and members, please vote. Representative Kraft-Tharp, how do you vote?
Yes.
Yes. Jaquez Lewis.
Yes.
Yes. Esgar.
Yes.
Esgar votes yes. Froelich.
Yes.
Yes. Landgraf.
Yes.
Yes. Melton.
Yes.
Melton votes yes. Wilson.
Yes.
Wilson, yes. Jackson.
Yes.
Jackson, yes. Hooton.
Yes.
Hooton, yes. Sirota.
Yes.
Sirota, yes. Buckner.
Yes.
Buckner, yes. Rich.
Yes.
Rich, yes. Tatone.
Yes.
Tatone, yes. McLaughlin.
Yes.
McLaughlin, yes. Gray. Gray, yes. Please close the machine. With 51 aye votes, 14 no votes, House Bill 20B 1001 is passed. Co-sponsors. Representative Kraft-Tharp, co-sponsors. Melton, Froelich, Jaquez Lewis, Rich, Buckner, Sirota, Hooton, Jackson, McLaughlin, Tatone, Gray. Oh, Esgar, sorry, I missed you. Please close the machine. Please read the title of House Bill 1005.
House Bill 20B 1005 by Representative Byrd, also Senator Rodriguez, concerning authorization for local governments to enact restrictions related to fees charged by a third-party food delivery service to a retail food establishment.
Majority, you know what? I'm sorry. I should be calling you Speaker-elect Garnett.
No, it's fine. It's totally fine, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1005 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1005 on third reading and final passage. Representative Byrd.
Speaker, I would like to present or move Amendment L015, which is a purely technical amendment. I ask permission to offer a third reading amendment.
Okay, do you want to display the amendment?
Yes.
The question before us is permission to offer a third reading amendment. Representative Byrd, will you describe your amendment?
Yes. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, this is a purely grammatical correction as a result of amendments that we made to the bill yesterday. So you'll see here we're fixing words requires to require, restricts to restrict, and it's just cleaning up so that we have good grammar in our bill. I ask for your yes vote.
Is there any further discussion? The question before us is permission to offer a third reading amendment. Mr. Gregorio, please open the machine, and members, please vote. Representative McLaughlin, how do you vote?
Yes.
McLaughlin votes yes. Titone.
Yes.
Titone votes yes. Jackson.
Yes.
Jackson votes yes. Hooton.
Yes.
Hooton votes yes. Sirota.
Yes.
Sirota, yes. Buckner.
Yes.
Buckner, yes. Rich.
Yes.
Rich, yes. Wilson.
Yes.
Wilson, yes. Melton.
Yes.
Melton, yes. Landgraf.
Yes.
Landgraf, yes. Froelich.
Yes.
Froelich, yes. Escar. Yes. Escar, yes. Kraftarp.
Yes.
Kraftarp, yes. Jaquez Lewis.
Yes.
Jaquez Lewis, yes. Gray. Gray, yes. Holtorf, please vote. Please close the machine. With 50 aye votes, 15 no votes, permission to offer a third reading amendment is granted. Majority Leader, Speaker-elect Garnett.
It's fine. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move L015 and ask for a favorable vote.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, please open the machine, and members, please vote. All right, I'm going to start in the middle here. Escar, how do you vote?
Yes.
Escar votes yes. Rich?
Yes.
Rich votes yes. Titone?
Yes.
Titone, yes. Buckner?
Yes.
Buckner, yes. Froelich?
Yes.
Froelich, yes. Kraftarp? Kraftarp?
Oh, yes, sorry.
That's okay. Kraftarp, yes. Landgraf?
Yes.
Landgraf, yes. Sirota?
Yes.
Sirota, yes. McLaughlin?
It's for good grammar.
Says the teacher. McLaughlin, yes. Hooton?
Yes.
Hooton, yes. Melton?
Yes.
Melton, yes. Jaquez Lewis?
Yes.
Jaquez Lewis, yes. Wilson?
Yes.
Wilson, yes. Jackson?
Yes.
Jackson, yes. Gray? Gray, yes. Mullica? Please close the machine. With 44 aye votes, 21 no votes, Amendment L015 is adopted. Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1005 as amended on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1005 as amended on third reading and final passage. Any discussion? Seeing none, please open the machine, and members, please vote. Let's start with Jackson. How do you vote?
Yes.
Jackson, yes. Wilson?
No.
Wilson, no. Jaquez Lewis?
Yes.
Jaquez Lewis, yes. Melton?
Yes.
Melton, yes. Hooton?
Yes.
Hooton, yes. McLaughlin?
Yes.
McLaughlin, yes. Sirota?
Yes.
Sirota, yes. Landgraf?
No.
Landgraf, no. Crafthart?
Yes.
Crafthart, yes. Escar?
Yes.
Escar, yes. Buckner?
Yes.
Buckner, yes. Tatone?
No.
Tatone, no. Rich?
No.
Rich, no. Jaquez Lewis?
Yeah, I already voted yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I miss you? Okay. And then Gray? Gray, yes. Froelich?
Yes.
Froelich, yes. Please close the machine. With 38 aye votes, 27 no votes, House Bill 1005 is passed. Co-sponsors. Jackson co-sponsors, Buckner, Froelich, Melton, Sirota, Jaquez Lewis, Esgar, Hooton, please close the machine. Mr. Gregorio, please read the title of House Bill 1007.
House Bill 20B 1007 by Representatives Singer and Van Winkle, also Senator Fields and Holbert, concerning the recreation with amendments of the Occupational Therapy Practice Act and in connection therewith reestablishing the licensing functions of the Director of the Division of Professions and Occupations in the Department of Regulatory Agencies regarding occupational therapists and occupational therapy assistants.
Speaker-elect Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1007 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1007 on third reading and final passage. Representative Singer.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. A number of you have come to me to ask about whether or not this fits in the call, and frankly, I haven't had the time to have 65 conversations until right now. And so I want to rewind real quickly and tell you, this is probably my last time in the well. And when I go back and start to think about why I came here in the first place, it had to do with what I was doing in kindergarten. I can remember sitting at my little desk with a group of other kids, and they had all finished their test, and I hadn't finished yet. And if you remember those moments where your eyes start to well up, and you're like, oh God, here it's coming. And I'm going to embarrass myself in front of all my friends and my teacher, right? And the tears start coming down. My teacher comes by and she looks at me and she goes, Representative Singer. Well, I wasn't Representative Singer yet. I wasn't wearing a tie either. Jonathan, what's wrong? What's going on? I couldn't start my test because I couldn't write my name. I could spell it. I could say it. I couldn't write it. I needed occupational therapy. And so when I was first appointed to this seat and I was calling through the list of lobbyists and I saw the lobbyists for the Occupational Therapy Association, I called them up and I said, if there's anything I can do, the 4 years I spent in occupational therapy learning the fine motor skills and how to write my name, how to better open doors, how to walk upstairs. I think about that every day when I walk up these Capitol steps. So it's an honor and a privilege to serve here, but it is a responsibility as well. And occupational therapy means something even more critical now than it did when I was that little kid embarrassed in front of my kindergarten classroom. Because we have people overcrowding our hospitals, overcrowding our nursing homes, and it's the occupational therapists that work with a medical team to determine whether or not someone can get out of that hospital faster, out of that nursing home faster, back at home where it's safer. So this is what OTs really do. If someone has a broken hip, and they can't stand up, they can't walk, and they're working to get back to that activity of daily living, the OT says, you know what, this person can dress themselves now. They can toilet themselves now. Imagine the level of embarrassment that I felt compared to the level of embarrassment that people are feeling in hospitals right now. Let's get those folks out of our hospitals where it's costing the state of Colorado sometimes $10,000 a day or more. Let's get those people back at home where we're not putting additional lives at risk. Because when you're intubated, when you're put in a coma, you lose muscle mass. These are the things that are happening in our state right now. And so when the governor made his call and talked about the pandemic emergency costing the lives of over 2,300 people at that time and straining our public health care system, and when he made the call about a public health response, talking about our third wave and saying additional funds are needed to immediately continue the state's robust public health response, this bill fits that charge. It's that simple. And so for those of you who think differently or maybe mention this differently, maybe I made mention of the OLLS memo that came out that said that actually cited a court case back in 1982 saying that it is the General Assembly's job to look at the broad subject matter and determine a rational nexus. So the next question is, well, what if we get sued? The only way that we can get sued is if somebody has standing to sue. That was also shown in a 1982 court case. So if you don't have standing, if you're not an aggrieved party, then you can't sue. And last but not least, going back to even 1894, for those of you who really look at the details, and I believe we should, there was a case that talked about, there was a case where the governor called back the legislature to reduce the penalties and interest on delinquent taxes to 1/2 the present rates. The courts then held that the specification of the amount by which the rates are reduced was merely advisory. So we've got 100 years of precedent holding up this bill. So let's give our occupational therapists the statutory clarity that they deserve, because we as a body made a drafting error this year. Let's give our occupational therapy assistants that clarity. If I'm right, we fix a problem. If I'm wrong, I don't know who sues. So when I finished my social work degree, people asked, well, why are you doing this? You're going into a job that doesn't pay much? And I said, well, just wait till I run for office. And I said, no. You know, the reason I'm doing this is I'm returning a favor. I'm returning a favor to Dr. Horst, who worked with me every day in elementary school for 4 years. So if you voted one way on some of these bills yesterday, and you know new information, and you change your mind and you decide to support this bill now, that's not hypocrisy, that's learning and changing your mind. So I hope that I've been able to share that with you. And if this is my last time in the well, I just wish all of you all good things. I wish all of you well and good health.
Representative Weissman.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, I apologize for speaking on third reading, and there's not a great deal to add after the comments from our colleague from Longmont. But given the nature of this bill and this special session in particular, I did want to articulate for the record, and in case anybody is still making up their mind, why I believe this bill does fit within the call. Rep. Singer alluded to a very helpful memo from our staff attorneys, legal services, dates to about 2013, was circulated for those of us who were here in 17 for that special session. If you don't have it, feel free to ask me. I will email it to you. It's a public document. It's helpful. In this memo, and ultimately from the court case that Rep. Singer cited to in 1982, our Supreme Court has said that in response to the call for a special session, the General Assembly is not limited to a narrow technical interpretation of the subject matter comprised in the governor's call, we, the court, have adopted a rational nexus test where the challenged legislation, and as our colleague pointed out, if somebody even challenges it at all, must bear a rational nexus to an item specified in the governor's call. To me, this goes to the very first item in the governor's call, and appropriately so, concerning direct support to small businesses impacted. There is a type of small business here, the small business in which I think a lot of occupational therapists actually practice, which is a bit different than bars, restaurants, art venues, other ones that we're talking about. These are members of a regulated profession. Under law, before and after 1230, they cannot legally practice.
Representative Weissman, there's a lot of talking in the chamber right now, and we're on third reading, so if people could be quiet, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. These are professionals, small business owners, those who work in a small business, who cannot legally practice their profession, but for a stable legal climate that we're trying to provide and reinforce here. So on top of the points that Rep. Singer made, I believe that this anchors to the small business nature of how these professionals actually operate. You can go to DORA, you can download lists of regulated professionals, which I did. There are nearly 6,200 licensed occupational therapists. There are another nearly 1,400 occupational therapy assistants. That second class of regulated professionals is also talked about in the legislation. That is more than 7,500 individuals who have acquired the education and gone to the trouble to become appropriately certified so that they can practice what they do, which is valuable and needful to us in this society, as Rep. Singer pointed out. These are the folks who, through a drafting error in the chaos that was May and June, whose ability to practice, whose certainty about avoiding discipline, possibly, whose ability to get malpractice insurance is even called into question by the lack of certainty, that comes to us now. Those of us in legal services have talked about this a bunch, but for this special session, we were going to talk about it some more next week. This was an unfortunate small mistake that was made as to a date, basically, one line of a 30-page bill that passed both chambers nearly unanimously. I think there was something like 5 opposition votes out of 100. The profession sought the changes and the continuation brought by the Sunset Law. There was very little opposition to it. I believe that this legislature, both chambers, both parties, spoke very plainly. But for our having been called here, we would have had to clean this up. Next year, maybe it wouldn't get done and signed till February, and 7,500 practicing professionals whose skills we need and who deserve certainty, as Rep. Singer pointed out, would be in a zone of uncertainty for several more months. But we were called into special session. We are here. We are called to deal with direct support to small businesses. Those are the words out of this proclamation that has legal force under our Constitution and our case law. And to go back to the memo, who decides whether a bill is within the call? Quoting from LLS, the question is a substantive question, not a procedural question. Each legislator in voting determines whether he or she thinks there is a rational nexus. So I'm here ultimately to say I do believe that there is a rational nexus because we are talking about, among a variety of types of small businesses, those which are set up to be in the business of providing occupational therapy. Go to the Secretary of State Business Database, put in the words occupational therapy, you'll find more than 200 entries. Okay, there are some dupes in there. I think it's safe to say there are at least 100 businesses set up just having those 2 words in their name. And I'm sure there's more that would come up in a different search. So we are talking about small businesses here. We are talking about the healthcare response that we are trying to find our way through in this state. For those reasons, I believe that this bill is appropriately within the call. I believe it provides helpful certainty to a class of professionals and business people. We as a state would be better off for this certainty. We happen to be the only 100 people in the state of Colorado in this building who can fix the problem, and I think we should, so I'm urging a yes vote.
Representative Benavides.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, I didn't really want to come up here, but I am because, as Representative Weissman pointed out, this is an individual decision that we have to make, whether we feel there is a nexus that this is within the call or not. And my determination is it is not within the call. When we were in committee yesterday, I asked, had there been some way that the sponsors had moved for a special session on this issue, if it was so important that it had to be done in special session. We don't only have to do a special session under the governor's call, we could do it by 2/3 majority vote of our members. And this bill did receive overwhelming support when we heard it last year. And the fact that we made an error and the mistake was that it expired in September of this year, because it is a licensing, it doesn't go away. It stays for another year. And the sponsors intended to bring this bill in January, but for the governor calling a special session. And that but for does not establish nexus in my mind that this is within the governor's call. There was also a way that the sponsors could have gone to the governor and asked that the call be amended to clarify that it was within the call if there was such an urgency. But we're going to be back here in a month and a half, and I think that there is not that urgency to pass this. So I am not supporting the bill, and I do recommend that each of you evaluate personally whether you do or not. I do thank the sponsors, particularly Representative Singer, for bringing this bill forward and making the effort to do what he can for these business people. Thank you.
Representative Soper.
Well, thank you, Madam Speaker. I just also wanted to come down here and say that I agree with Representative Benavides. We heard this issue on the Legal Services Committee, which I sit. It was one that we felt was very technical. There, we decided not to change the statute arbitrarily, but instead to have it come back to us as a body to change. And this may be a convenient time to fix the date, but we will be back here in a month and a half. And if we wanted to have included this in the call, the governor could have definitely made that very clear. So I just wanted to lay out why I'm going to be a no vote here today. Thank you. And to also say that since the Judiciary Committee was meeting, I felt obliged to also meet. Thank you.
Representative Holtorf.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, colleagues. Well, I must say I strongly and vehemently disagree with the previous two speakers. Representative Singer, I've watched you the last session. I know how you think with regard to these matters, and I appreciate your experience and your dedication to these people. And if we have an opportunity to correct something, it is our duty to do it. If the opportunity is now, which I think it is now because this bill has presented itself, it is time to vote. Whether procedurally, as you analyze black and white or gray or shades of gray, you want to put yourself in the black and white category, that is your choice. But I will tell you this matter is not one that you should choose. And oh, by the way, there is latitude in this body. The governor has made a call, but the governor has not given us explicit guardrails that we can not bounce off of. In this case, if you think this isn't part of the governor's call, then you know which way you need to vote. If you procedurally think it's not correct, then you know which way to vote. But in this moment, in this time, in what little time it would take for us to support this bill, I would argue it's a moot point. It isn't even relevant in the span of time and space in our duty as legislators. So I'd urge a yes vote. I would urge us to support the bill sponsors. I would urge us to correct a wrong and make it right today. It would be foolish to kick this can down the road for another 30, 45, 55 days, whatever that time span is, only to revisit it at a future time and waste more of the people's time. So I urge a yes vote, and I thank the bill sponsors, and I particularly, Representative Jonathan Singer, thank you for your duty and your dedication and your loyalty to all things public health and human services.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the question before us is the passage of House Bill 20B 1007. Please open the machine and members please vote. Let's see. Representative Jackson, how do you vote?
Yes.
Jackson's yes. Hooton?
Yes.
Hooton's yes. Sirota?
Yes.
Sirota is yes. Buckner?
Yes.
Buckner's yes. Janice Rich?
No.
Rich is no. McLaughlin?
Yes.
McLaughlin's yes. Melton?
Yeah.
Melton, yes. Jaquez Lewis?
Yes.
Jaquez Lewis is yes. Landgraf?
For the best chairman of public health, yes.
Oh, Landgraf is yes. Kraftart? Kraftart? I'll come back to you. I'm sorry, what was that?
Yes.
Kraftart is yes. Froelich?
Yes.
Froelich is yes. Gray? Gray is yes. Escar?
Yes.
Escar, yes. Wilson?
On procedure, no.
Wilson, no. Tatone?
Yes.
Tatone, yes. Humphrey? Please close the machine. With 45 aye votes, 20 no votes, House Bill 20B 1007 is passed. Co-sponsors. Landgraf, co-sponsors. Please close the machine. That brings us to the end of the third reading calendar. I've been getting text suggestions on how to refer to this person. And so the one I'm going to use now is future former Speaker Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and to the people of Colorado who got to listen to that third reading debate, that's kind of like sitting in a Judiciary Committee. That was quite entertaining. And so just an announcement, we have 2 of the 3 bills coming from the Senate, 3 of the 4 bills coming from the Senate. The other one's in enrolling. So what we can do is introduce those 3 and assign them to committee. And then I think we should all just wait, introduce the 4th, assign it, and then we are going to have 2 of the 3 committees start, and then State Affairs will start 30 minutes after. So those 3 committees will meet, hear those 4 bills. If the bills pass committee, we'll come back for second reading upon completion of appropriations, which will meet after those 3 committees meet. Everyone follow that? Kinda. All right, so Madam Speaker, we'll introduce those bills and assign them.
And so we have a few other orders of business. Signing of bills, resolutions, and memorials.
Speaker, sign House Bill
Signing
20.
of bills, resolutions, and memorials will be printed in the journal. Message from the Senate.
Madam Speaker.
Message from the Senate will be printed in the journal. Message from the reviser.
We herewith
Message from the reviser will be printed in the journal. Introduction of bills.
Senate Bill 20B-002 by Senators Gonzalez and Holbert, also Representatives Exum and Tipper, concerning temporary assistance for individuals who are facing a financial hardship due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and in connection therewith, creating the Emergency Direct Assistance Grant Program and transferring money to the Emergency Direct Assistance Grant Program Fund and to the Housing Development Grant Fund and to the Eviction Legal Defense Fund for this assistance and making an appropriation.
Senate Bill 20B-002 is assigned to Public Health Care and Human Services and appropriations.
Senate Bill 20B-003 by Senators Fields and Crowder, also Representatives Durand and Landgraf, concerning assistance for individuals who are unable to pay their emergency utility bills and in connection therewith transferring money from the general fund to the Energy Outreach Colorado Low Income Energy Assistance Fund.
Let's see, Senate Bill 003 is assigned to the Committee on State Veterans and Military Affairs and the Committee on Appropriations.
Senate Bill 20B-004 by Senator Moreno, also Representative McCluskey, concerning a transfer from the general fund to the controlled maintenance trust fund of money that will be available to the governor for a limited time for further transfer to the disaster emergency fund for public health and emergency response expenses associated with the COVID-19 pandemic emergency.
Senate Bill 20B 004 is assigned to public health care and appropriations. Since that was a little hard to hear, I'm just going to repeat those. So the housing assistance bill is going to public health care and human services. The energy utility assistance bill is going to state veterans and military affairs. And the last one we introduced, the disaster emergency fund bill is going to public health care and human services. Okay, everyone got that? Oh, and they're all going to appropriations. Okay. Future former Speaker Garnett.
Wait a minute, I finally caught that. That's very funny, actually. I think I probably know where that came from, actually.
I think you do.
Anybody who's watching at home. Maybe we'll have announcements from chairs, and then we can go into recess. Does that sound right? Okay.
All right, Representative Gray.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. House Finance Committee, we will be meeting at 10:30 a.m. in LSBA. 10:30 a.m. to hear Senate Bill 20B-001 with Representatives Herod and Sandridge. See you then.
Representative Kennedy.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Still the Speaker and proud to serve with you.
I'm proud to serve with you.
The State Affairs Committee will be meeting at 11 o'clock in room 271, the Old State Library, to hear Senate Bill 3.
Representative Singer.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. House Public Health Care and Human Services Committee. House Committee Room 112, 10:30, Senate Bills 4 and 2. We'll do it in that numerical order.
Representative McCluskey.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Appropriations, folks, this is going to be a lot like yesterday. We will be meeting following the three committees that are meeting this morning. We can't name a specific time at this moment, so please stay tuned. We will be meeting in House Committee Room 0107 once again. I'll make another announcement once we have a specific time. Thank you.
Are there any other announcements or introductions? Okay, so we're waiting for one more bill, but those committees are going to go ahead and meet.
Madam Speaker?
Oh, I'm sorry, Representative Wilson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It's been an honor to serve with you over this past session.
You as well.
I have three quick announcements. One, yesterday in one of Representative Holtorf's impassioned speeches, he made a disparaging remark about a mule, and I just want to make sure people understand that that's offensive to those of us who own mules. Second announcement, my computer crashed twice yesterday, and I apologize for that. It's frustrating enough to be at a distance, and then to have that happen, I apologize that I did not get to participate fully in yesterday's session, but that's because we don't have 4G and 5G out here in the country. We have 1G, and that means that you simply say, oh, gee, it quit us again. And third of all, I have 4 daughters, and my baby girl, Ramey, is 33 today. So happy birthday to my youngest daughter. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Representative Wilson. I'm trying to come up with something about a mule, and I'm just going to let it go. Any other announcements or introductions? All right, future former Speaker Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that the House stand in recess until later today.
Seeing no objection, the House will be in recess till later today.